Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our webinar today again. Another instalment of our D365 overview of the latest features for Dynamics 365 S and SCM. Today's agenda will be as follows. So we'll be focusing on the platform updates plans for 2024. What's new and changed? We'll go through a demo and we'll also have a Q&A session. So before we get started, as usual, let me introduce our speakers today. So we have Peter, who's our business architect and head of the ERP department. We also have Andrew today, who's our tech lead architect. And we also have Nastasia. She's one of our consultants for D365 ERP. Right, okay, so before we get, without further more, let's get started and we'll ask Andrew to take over. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, John. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining our today's session. It's only 2 days until the general availability of the next release, Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management. And according to the new release policy, Microsoft releases 4 updates over the year, and 2 of them are major ones. As of February 1924, the maximum number of consecutive updates that can be paused is 1. So the upcoming release is denoted a major release. So the next major update will be released in September this year. Let me go back to the upcoming update and briefly overview the changes. So John, could you switch the slide, please? Thank you. So we highlighted about 10 improvements that are most promising from our point of view. You can see their brief description on the current slide. Let me provide more details about some of them. Let's start with the inventory and logistic part. Offset inventory visibility adjustments. So this feature allows for cancellation or offset the update in supply chain management to the inventory visibility service so that an inventory change that has been adjusted in inventory visibility won't be duplicated when data is synchronized between the systems. Improves the performance of the inventory transactions details page. With this feature, is it possible to set default filters so that the page shows only frequently checked inventory transactions. In addition, this page shows only inventory-related fields. Nastasia will provide more details about this feature during her part of this presentation. The next part is the sales and marketing. Let's start with feature number 3, replace alternative item defaults on sales lines. Now, it is possible to set whether alternative items must always be used on sales lines. If yes, all item-dependent information, such as financial dimensions and unit of measure, from the alternative item replace the original item information on the sales order line. If no, all the information from the original item remains on sales order line and no replacements are made. In addition, you can manage data export policy with the feature prioritize sales reference data export policy. You can disable exporting sales and quotation orders in case of changes in master data. Changes to reference data don't cause sales order lines, sales quotation, and sales quotation lines to be included in the next incremental export. In the master planning area, we have the following improvements. Feature number 7, min-max coverage code rounding for planning optimization. With this feature, you can control how values are rounded when you use multiple in min-max coverage code. Round down to ensure that the quantities always stay within the maximum limit. This option is used if the maximum represents the physical space of your warehouse. Round up to ensure that the maximum quantity is always fulfilled. This option is used if the maximum represents a calculated value for your company to fulfill demand. Rolling down advanced action days adds a new option for coverage groups that lets you round down advanced action days. For example, the difference between the supply requirements date time and the receipt requirement date time is 1 day and 4 hours. If the new option is turned on, the result of the calculation is 1 advanced action day. If the option is turned off, the result is 2 advanced action days. So this option is especially useful for preventing master planning from suggesting an advance of 1 day whenever the supply and demand are on the same day. So in the warehouse management area, the most interesting feature is number 9, user-based authentication for the warehouse management app, from my point of view. With this feature, the authentication process has been switched to Microsoft Entra ID. This improvement allows you to implement 2 scenarios, one device for multiple workers and a personal mobile device for each worker. In the first case, the warehouse management mobile app can be connected through the device's Microsoft Entra ID account. So, and in this scenario, human workers don't need a personal Microsoft Entra ID user account. And human workers must always enter a user ID, so it doesn't matter which of these mobile device user accounts is set as a default for the warehouse worker record. In the second scenario, each human user has a Microsoft Entra ID user account that's linked to their warehouse worker account in the supply chain management. As a result, the Microsoft Entra ID user sign-in might be all the human worker needs to both authenticate the app with the supply chain management and sign in to the app. This scenario also supports sign-on because the same Microsoft Entra ID session can be shared across other apps on the device, such as Microsoft Teams or Microsoft Outlook, until the human worker signs out of the Microsoft Entra ID user account. And the final feature that I would like to introduce is number 10, optimize the customer returns process. In some cases, processing customer returns can be very difficult and time-consuming because it requires users to create return order lines and manually generate return merchandise authorization numbers. It's well known like RMA numbers, before items can be returned to the warehouse. From now on, when returned items arrive at the warehouse, workers can process them right away using the warehouse management mobile app. This improvement can help to save time and effort, making it easier for companies to manage customer returns. I guess Peter will provide more details about this feature during his part of the presentation. And it was the last feature that I would like to introduce. If you have any questions, please feel free to write them in our chat. Now I would like to turn the floor over to Nastasia. So Nastasia, the stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. We are thankful to have you with us today. Thank you all for joining, and let's explore what today's demo has to offer. Inventory transaction details page performance improvement is actually an enhancement that provides an incremental improvement to an existing feature. However, to ensure that enhancements like this won't conflict with your existing customizations or preferences, each of them is turned off by default. So today we will first go over the page as it looks without the enabled feature, but most interesting part will be to see this in action while we go over some of the scenarios I prepared for you. I will also show you some tips and tricks I learned while using this feature, so stay tuned for that too. Let us now switch to Dynamics 365. Just a second. Okay, here. So we should go into the page inventory management, inquiries and reports and transactions, but as I have it saved here, just to be faster. This is how the page is looking without any new features enabled. You can see that there are a lot of information here, the usual filters and everything. After enabling the feature in the feature management, the page will look like something like this. Now you will see that we are getting a page with filters which we can utilize in our advantage. Let me first reset mine and then go over some scenario with you. So let's imagine you need to focus on inventory movements related to high priority sales orders, and you would like to see the ones that are ready to be shipped, but you're managing only some of the warehouses. So for reference, we would for sure like sales orders, so we can select them here. Also, I would like issue status to be reserved physical, but as you can see, I can't see it here, but I can add the new line, or I can change one of these ones, the transactions, and then choose here issue status, and the same as the last one, I click on reserved physical and select it. Also, I said we want to manage only some of the warehouses. So for warehouse, I would like to manage the warehouse, the main warehouse. So I can put that one here. But I would also like the warehouse with finished goods. And it would be this one. Now we can see the results of our filtering. And here they are. Also, maybe we would like to use something like sortings. We could do that by reloading the page, waiting a few seconds, and then go into this sorting tab. Here, you could add some sorting, but I'm not going to do that due to time. I would rather show you some other scenarios. I'll go back here. And I can use the query that I already saved, which is this one. So for this scenario, if you are like a sales manager and the customer is inquiring about HDMI cables, you want to efficiently explore the stock to find available options. So this is the query I made for that and saved it, which is pretty simple. You go to here and save as and just name it, and that's it. So we will use this query. I will not explain all in detail here, but the important part is that, as we can see, we have items table here, which is not the regular table that you would see on this page. And I added it by going to joins. And in inventory transactions, I clicked on add table join and added this table. So I did that so I can do the filtering by search name, which I wanted to be HDMI, so I can see all the cables that are like sorts in this group. As we set everything, we can go and look at the results we are having. Still a lot of results, but we have them all filtered. Maybe we would like to see only what we have in warehouse, for example, 13, and we can do that here. And we will get the result. But notice that if I reload the page and go into the filtering query page again, this will, if I go and enter the page again, I will not get the same result because I didn't enter it here. So if I enter it here, then I will get it every time I will load and do some stuff here. Also, let us now go into that. So you see now I do get the same result. So I think that would be it from the scenarios in here. I just wanted to show you one more thing. So if you love using recents as much as I do, and you would like to use them, you can check this out. If you go into this page transactions, you will see the page that shows when the new feature is not enabled, so the regular one. And that is it. That is like this because I entered this page through the link the first time that I entered it, when the feature did not, I did not enable the feature, and now I can still use it through here. But also I can go to this page, which you see, it's called exactly the same, and I just added it to favorites so I can differentiate between them. But if I go through this one, I will get the page for advanced filtering in here also. That is because when I enable the feature, I go through the full path again, and now I have both of them, and I can use both of them. Notice that whenever you go through like modules, inventory management, through all the path, again, you will get the result that is supposed to be according to the did you enable the feature or not. So you will always be sure that you're doing it right. And that wraps up my part for today. Thank you all for listening. And Peter, please feel free to carry on with this journey.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nastasia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to participate in our webinar. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, Nastasia, for this awesome demonstration. Actually, it's an amazing feature. I suffer a lot because of this transaction form, and as a lot of companies, I'm sure, because when it's a lot of data there, so it's really take quite time to work with this form. Today's webinar has a difference from our regular webinars because today we have two demonstrations. So I will switch screen to D365 2. 1 second. Let me know if you can see it. Yeah, you can. Great. Thank you. And I will demonstrate to you the new functionality that Andrew mentioned already. It's about returning process using warehouse mobile application. So, and I would like to start with a short, very brief overview of settings. So I'll go to warehouse management model, and here I will show you a few settings, such as returning item receiving policy. There are two possible ways to receive items: blind return and return details. Blind return you can use when you don't have a return ID. I will tell you about it a little bit later, but just imagine that it's some kind of label that you send to the customer with your items, with your goods. Yeah, and of course, if you send a lot of items, different kind of items and a huge amount, so customer would not return your item with your return ID. So in this case, you can use blind return. It based on the customer ID. I will show you this example exactly. And the next one, return details. So you can use it when you have return ID. You have it back from your customer. Okay, another setting, return item policy. So for each item or for item group, actually it's a regular setting here, table group and all, you can set different amount of days, and not only different amount of days, you can set always allowed, never allowed, or allowed some amount of days for returning. So for example, I have always allowed, and allowed days after shipment, just 10. So it's a very useful setting too. Also, we have to set mobile device menu items for sure. So let me filter it. So again, to menu items for blind return and for return details. We already discussed that. And not settings, but the first form I would like to show you, it's return details. So it's actually information about your shipments. And based on this information, you can return goods. So I will show you how we can add records here. For my demonstration, I already prepared sales portal, just not to wasting time to creating it. So I create this one. Now let me show it. It has 2 lines, 2 different items with different quantity, and I already finished sales picking process to it. Let's go to the work details here, and you can see that I already pick all items from my storage. And now to finish my shipment, I have to complete work. Dated, work is valid, complete work. And the last state here is to confirm shipment. Yeah, shipment has been confirmed, and I'm going to return details form. And here you can see the new record, return ID 12, our lines for 2 items with all quantity that we have shipped. And also here you can print return shipment label. So it's a label for a returning process with the returning details. But for my opinion and for my experience, it will not be the common case. The common case will be to return with the blind returning process. So I will show you exactly this process. So let me open warehouse mobile application. You can see it, right? Everything's okay. You can see warehouse app. Okay, so it's income process. Yeah, so I will choose inbound because we receive item back from our customer. Bit bigger. So here you can see 2 new menus, blind return and return details, and I will use blind return for my case. So I don't have a return ID from my customer, and the first information I have to put to the mobile application, it's a customer number, customer ID. So this is it. Let me just type it. Actually, if somebody remember one of our webinars, you can set queries to make it possible to choose customers, orders, items, everything, so you can avoid typing. It will be useful maybe for this case. Okay, I will type it for now. Okay, so now I have to type or scan item code. So I will receive one of these items. Actually, for example, it doesn't matter. It can be the first one. So it finds. I will confirm license plate. And I have to choose return in amount. Let it be 2 from 3, as you remember. Disposition code and work completed. So I will not return another item, but it's possible to work with the second one right now without any additional actions. I'll cancel this process, and I will show you what we have in the system. Actually, I did mention this, but I didn't pay enough attention. As you may see, for this item, returning date, it's not a real date, so it's far away from now. But for this one, it's March 22. So that means 10 days from today, because today is 12th, because of returning item policy. So the next step I have to do is complete mixed license plate receiving. I'll open this form, and here you can see this record. Actually, it's now, today, and this time, item number, our item number, and our quantity. I received two items, so I have to confirm license plate. Okay, everything's okay. And I go back to sales order. And you may see here, return order created automatically. I will show it for you. It has one line, one record for our item, for our quantity with a negative amount, of course, because it's a returned order. So, and now you can complete the receiving process by posting the regular backend slip. But we will not do it right now because we already lack of time. So I wrap it up here and finish my demonstration right here. So John, you can share the presentation again. The stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much there, Peter. Really appreciate that. You know, and to Nastasia and the rest of the team as well, and Andrew, you know, really great presentation and demo. I'm sure we gathered some really great insights there as well in regards to, you know, some of the new features that are going to be available in Dynamics 365's F and SCM. Okay, so so moving on now. So just moving on now, and just making sure that everybody is aware, if you do want to scan the QR codes, you have the opportunity to engage with our speakers. It takes you to their LinkedIn pages. You've also got the chance to be able to have a look at some additional resource information that we have available. If you click on, this information will be shared with a lot of the speakers that are, well, sorry, a lot the people who have attended the webinar today. So if you do wish to engage with our speakers as well, you can have a click on the Q&R code there. So an update here from Cloud. So whoever has been on our recent webinars in relation to Dynamics 365 F and SCM, you would be aware that we heavily promote our ISV solution, Cloud Green. It's an update solution, so it is designed specifically to help streamline the release wave management for Microsoft's release wave updates. So with Cloud Green, you know, it's an ISV solution to help determine the influence of the update on your system from a technical perspective. Efficiently and effectively prioritize testing scope for update systems to minimize time to market tasks. And yes, of course, significantly reduce costs connected with each update documentation, preparation and testing process up to 3 times as well. So Cloud Green for us is definitely something that we're really proud of. We've already seen some great use for it with organizations as well. We've had some great feedback. So you know, if you haven't had a chance to use it and you're on the call today and you're on our webinar today, sorry, please get a chance to get involved with it. You've also got an opportunity for a free trial for a month. So we've got an offer here as well where you're able to trial it as well. So there's, you know, you're not losing out. You could trial it for a month and then you can see how it, you know, significantly improves your release wave management strategy as well. Yeah, more information on this, yeah, just scan the QR code, or as I said, you could certainly reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to share some information with regards to CloudGreen. So our next webinar, our next event for D365 S and SCM is on the 2nd of April. So we'll be looking at CloudGreen, how to compare current ERP with upcoming releases. So it's a while away, people, so you won't hear from us for some time now. No one is too disappointed. But yeah, we've got one on the 24th after that as well, for migration from AX to D365. That would be a really good one for those that are still on the legacy system. And then further down the line, the 16th of May, we've got a Q&A session, and then even further down the line in June, that is the next D365 release wave overview. So you can see the links on there. You can go on to the N.Progression blog. You've also got our YouTube channel. You know, as I've mentioned before on these webinars, if you go to our YouTube channel, you can see previous videos as well. And yeah, be sure to have a look at them if you feel that you've missed out on something that we have mentioned before. Yeah, feel free to have a look at our previous webinars. So yeah, again, you know, we've continued to do a lot of these webinars, but just what's important to us is your feedback. You know, we want to make sure, especially for those that are attending these webinars on a regular basis, we want to make sure it's, you know, it really kind of meets to it's understandable and it's relevant to what you guys are doing, you know, in your day-to-day as well, especially for us to kind of pinpoint exactly how these webinars can support you in with regards to, you know, your utilization of D365 S and SCM. So your feedback is quite important there. So please have a scan of the Q&A code and do provide us with some feedback. You'll probably hear from me as well. I'll reach out to a lot of the people that have attended this webinar and try and gauge some feedback. So again, just for those who have come on the call for the very first time, N.Progression, we are N.Progression, we are a Microsoft partner. So we're an innovative digital service and business solutions partner. We focus heavily on the implementation, upgrading and supporting customers through their D365 journey. We're very kind of tailored in the forefront of making sure that you know, customers are utilizing the products well. With our own internal expertise, we feel that we can really support you know, on those bases as well. So implementation, the migration side of things, and managed services and support. So you know, we're quite pleased that we've got the capabilities and capacity to deal with or support customers on that basis and making sure that they get the best out of D365. But of course, we're not just a, you know, Dynamics specialists. We are a Microsoft partner, so yes, we do look at other Microsoft products such as the Power Platform and Azure. So that's it. I don't know if we had any questions, if we've got time to answer any questions at all. Any questions in the chat? I don't think anyone posted any questions there at all. Well, no, I mean, as I said, I will be reaching out to, you know, pretty much everybody who has attended this webinar, just to see, you know, see if you had any further questions, you know, after and so forth, just to see if we could build any kind of collaboration and engagement on that basis. But yeah, I think we're slightly more or less finished now. So I don't know if anybody did have any questions, but it doesn't look like it. So I think, you know, we're at time, and yeah, we'll call that a day then. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice
Bye-bye.
rest of the
Bye.
day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.